All right. Bearded Nomad Relic Hunter. Back at it. Found a couple items already. Found yet again another old shotgun Willie. But as I wanted to do, I looked it up. This one here was one that I've actually never seen before. It was a Western Expert. And it's definitely a paper cartridge shotgun shell, because the only left is the brass. So I Googled it, and it's 1927 to 1932. And somewhere right after 1932, I guess they apparently started stamping "Made in the USA" on them. So even though my historical aerial views only go back to, mid 50s, the shotgun Willies that I've been finding put me back to the early 1920s to 30s. And then, of course, other known history about the area puts it back into the 1800s easy. And then there was always the possibility, because there's other places around within the county that have 1770s stone homes that were built in the 1770s. So pretty much there's always an option and a possibility to find something from the 17 and early 1800s here with the history that is around. Now I'm right near the road, but it's quite thick now because the greenery is popping like crazy. The only thing is, you can tell which trees are going to be dead from the lantern flies, I guess, because they're not getting any leaves or buds. So had the shotgun Willie, had a very old nail, looks like a square nail maybe. Might be a round one though, so it might not be that old. Did find a piece of green metal plate that probably came off of an old tractor or something back when this was farmland. Because the area that I'm in right now, you can't tell, but guess what? This was all open field. Now, just over behind me somewhere, over yonder that way, on the aerial view, there used to be a pool. And I think the pool went to what's across the street here, which is now much bigger and more extravagant than it used to be. Used to just be a little hole in the wall place for ice cream, and I think a bar as well. Bikers used to hang out there back in the day. When I first started hanging out back here, some of those bikers looked pretty mean and scary. As a youngster, I was a little scared. Then as I got older, I realized they're not really that scary. They just looked at, oh, I guess that's why people look at me that way, because with the beard, they probably think I'm just a biker. Maybe, I don't know. But anywho, so there was a house here where I'm at. This was a house site, which I think I gotta keep looking. There might be part of a foundation. I don't know. We're hoping to find something. But I did just have a hell of a signal and big chunk of melted, I do believe it's melted lead because of how heavy it is. Which, I mean, back in the older days, everybody melted down lead plates from batteries to make sinkers and stuff for fishing and whatever else. And back farther, they used to use, I guess they would have done like a lead solder on tin cans to make, or buckets to make buckets. But so that's a pretty hefty chunk of lead right there. Here's the plate. There's only a little bit of green paint left, but 3 holes in it. Definitely looks like it was a cover plate to some access on a tractor probably. Oh, and I did find this casing, which, okay, I know most of you probably be like, ooh, whoop-de-doo, you found a bullet casing from a hunting rifle. The only thing is, I used to hunt, and in my entire lifetime of being around guns, which has been since I was a kid. Now, I was never one of those enthusiast guys that, you know, or neither was my father. You know, we didn't know every gun out there. We knew what we had. So I know 22s, I know 30-30s, I know 7mm mags, I know 12 gauge, I know 410, 20 gauge, 410s, 17 HMRs, I know 30-06, 9mm, 32. But this here, a 35 Remington. Now, this ain't the first one of these that I found. I found a bunch of these at two different spots. Well, I found a whole bunch at the one spot that used to be a farmstead and pasture land and whatnot. Found a whole bunch of these in one area, right by a tree. Like somebody was just, the tree wasn't originally there. It was just open pasture field, but found a whole bunch of them. There was like a pile of them and they just, but now I found one back in the thick on my way through, trying to find the pool, where the pool was, but it's getting kind of thick, and then it starts going downhill, and of course, on the aerial view, it looks like it's all flat, when really, you know, that doesn't show terrain. If I put it in topo, I lose all the other stuff that to see. The topo's on that app that I use on the website. It's okay. It shows little black dots where houses were, but that's it. When you try to overlay roads on it, the roads are in yellow. The coloration of the topo map, you can't see the roads. You can't read the road names because everything's in yellow. So just going off the historical aerial view, I saw that there was a house here. It's right across from the entrance across the street. So that's how this was easy to find. And it's kind of a nice flat open area. And surprisingly, there's only a couple trees growing up through it, which is kind of weird. And there's some daffodils back there behind me. I don't know if you can see them, probably not. But those daffodils told me, hey, look, I know this is where the house was. But yeah, 35 Remington. Never heard of a 35. Is it a little bit bigger than a 30-30, I guess? I don't know. 30-06, a little bigger than that? I don't know. But it's funny how almost every casing I find, though, the ends are completely deformed and mashed in some way, which seems kind of strange, but if they're just sitting in the ground, how did they get smashed? But, so I'm going to keep swinging around here, looking around, see what I can find. If I find anything else really good, or at least interesting to me, then I will get back to you put it on the video, and because somebody out there's got to love this stuff like I do. Well, I know there is. That's why people watch the videos, and that's why I'm at 72 subscribers, because at least a handful of those people must care in some manner, shape, or form. So I will catch you if I find anything else. See you soon. Well, had a higher tone in here with all the iron and the hot rocks that come up as all different types of VDI tones from the I do believe I'm gonna say it's probably hematite iron or infused, but had a higher tone right here. And it's just the old spring off of a old wooden clothespin, part of it anyway. But that's something you don't see much more used these days, except in the Amish community. And even then, other than that, you know, it's pretty much a thing of the past. So for me, pretty cool find considering. And I keep getting a whiff like there's a skunk around here. There better not be a skunk out there in the day. I'll spear that fucker before he sprays me. But yeah, so cool little find, spraying from a clothespin, which makes me wonder then, is this the front yard, backyard, side yard? Because where the entrance was, the house was right. This might be the backyard, because I think that space up right in there is where the house was. So this would have been backyard. See, there's a lot of area here and a lot of iron signals. I already found a couple old nails. So, but little by little. I mean, basically, right now I'm just, most of my trips out here after work, these are just, you know, to try to figure out what's where and what's what and what was where. And once I hit each location a little bit, eventually I will come back and do a thorough swing over for signals and really go slow and try to see if I can get any high squeakers out of. There's gotta be, I mean, and you can't tell me if somebody was shooting shotgun back here in 1927 and 1932 or 27 to 32 or whatever it was I said that I read. There's got to be Wheaties back here, and there should be Indian heads that were dropped and lost at these homesteads. You know, everywhere else today, everybody detects. They find the Wheaties and the Indian heads, and so this place should be low. It should have at least a couple. I mean, I can't imagine unless somebody, when they tore these places down, not unless somebody really hit these areas hard a long time ago. If they didn't, then I don't understand. You know, to me it would be like there should be more stuff. I mean, I did find a piece of a croto bell, so you know, I'm not getting discouraged. I know there's got to be plenty of cool old relics back here at these old farmsteads to find, so that I can save them and preserve them and share them with people, you know, that appreciate that old stuff. So, all right, back to swinging. All righty, so old beaver tail style can top, a nail, another spring off of a clothespin so far, and then this. It's round, it's thick, it's got some weight to it, and it's so gobbered up like iron that I do not know what it is or what it was. Talk about a whoo moment when I saw round and then none of this comes off. So I don't know what it is. Hopefully maybe somebody at my at the next meeting for the research and recovery club will know maybe. But keep on swinging. It ain't no button like most people find, but you know what? It's my second more modern button, but yet you know it's old. This is probably, I guess this is probably off a pair of coveralls or something from back in the early days. There's a gunner on top of it. I gotta figure out if I can get that off so I can see if there's any design on that or some markings. So there's some lettering on it. Definitely has writing, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it cleaned up without ruining it. But we're getting older. Yeah, this is gotta start somewhere, they all say. So here I am going through the trash and the less older stuff. Sooner or later I'll get to the goodies. So get to the true relics. But I have a feeling that there's plenty back here to be found. It's just gonna take time. All right, just next to the button, found an old handle. Back part of the metal's all broke off, but that was drawer handle or a cabinet door, probably turned and locked, or an old garage door. Would have been an old garage door handle. All right. Okay, so found an old road. What was the old road, but it really wasn't a road. It was more of a path through the field. And that path is just up right there, right in the middle, right there. And that, in the old aerials, that was a field. So all those pines over there have grown up since 1968, and actually 83, by 83 there was some stuff growing. It was starting to thicken up. The field was being taken over. But in 83, there was a pool right here. Now this big old tree, this mammoth monster. And I mean, that's 2 trees actually out of 1. Look at that mammoth over there being choked by vines. Those vines are insanely old. The tree is still living to some degree. Those vines are insane. They're crazy. They go all the way. Wow. That is really cool. I always found it cool how some of them are up in a tree, but yet they're not going up the trunk. So how did they get to end up in the top of a tree to come down to the ground? I don't know, that's weird. But anywho, this monster right here, I mean, that thing is huge. And even with a branch broke off and dead, it's still thriving. Its curvature is quite unique. Very curvy tree. Must be a female. She's got curves. She's got curves that I love, 'cause I love curves. Oh, yes, I do. But, anywho, according to what I can figure from the map and where I would be in conjunction with what used to be across the street only, that right in here somewhere, and this drops too. This is a deep, steep drop right here. I would say probably at least a good 25 foot down. Oh yeah, there's a fence. Aha! Ha ha! I just saw that. There's the fence that was around the pool. Okay, so I don't have enough time today, but I am gonna have to find my machete. I'm going to have to do some bushwhacking. This will be for a full day explore. Oh yes. Gonna do some bushwhacking because right inside that fence was an old pool, which looks like they filled it in, probably most likely. In 1983's historical ROU, it was full of water, but there was nothing else really around, and it didn't look like it was a usable pool. It was just a pool. Now it makes me wonder, at one point in time, was it ever a pool for swimming? Or was it a pool? Actually, it probably was because of what's across the street. What that was way back in the day. I would say that maybe at one time it was a pool to swim in. And then it probably became a pool for, hey, in case of a fire, the fire department can suck water out of it. And then, well, then this all became park. And of course, I'm sure someone went, that's unsafe. We can't leave that open. And now it is filled in with vines, massive vines. So I'm either going to have to find my machete or, yeah, I'm going to have to find it and try to sharpen it. I'm going to have to do a little bushwhacking to explore that, because that's thick. That is very thick. That's like jungle thick. But that's a shame it's so thick on the inside too, because if it was a pool, well, imagine what. Probably find a bunch of cool old stuff in there. But all right, so now I found it. At least I found it. That's what counts. How did I not? Oh, that's right. That big giant tree was in my way. I couldn't see the. Oh, wait a minute. And the fence just ends. It's only this corner. That's it? Yeah, looks like it's just this corner. Okay, so I'm running out of daylight, so I really shouldn't go down here. Don't go down here. You really shouldn't go down here. Hey, listen. Excuse me for a minute. I must have a conversation with myself. Dude, you know you shouldn't go down here. We're running out of daylight. You got to get you got quite a trek through the thicket to get back. So grab your stuff and the video, grab your stuff, and let's get to the van. Why? Are you scared? I got a flashlight. Are you scared? Are you scared of the dark? No, I'm not scared of the dark. You saw that shit we saw yesterday in the woods. We don't know what that's from. It might be something that might eat us. Oh. Well, you got a point there. It might be. But then again, probably not. But hey, I get you. You're scared, so we'll go because you're scared. It's okay. I'm used to not doing what I want because other people, because of their worries or feelings. It's okay. It's all right. Don't worry. We'll come back with the machete and a bigger flashlight next time. All right. Okay, sorry about that, folks. I had to have a little conversation there with my other side in my mind there. He's a chicken shit. But to appease him and quiet him up, because if I don't, he will keep on. If I go down there, my goodness, I won't hear the end of it all night long. So, and I do have to go to work in the morning. So I probably shouldn't go down there and then like get lost. Not that I get lost. The road's right out there. If I can't find my way to the road edge to walk back to the van, we got problems. But, okay. That there, I guess, is what they call comedy. I don't know. There's probably, is there a proper name for that type of one-person comedy with multiple personality comedy? Is there a name for that besides crazy? Because I am not crazy. He might be, but I'm not. All right. So I'm going to get on out of the woods so scaredy cat don't get scared. And I will catch you all later. So thanks for checking in on this video if you have. If you've watched the whole thing, I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please do. You're not required to hit the notification bell because my sense of humor, my comedy, and my antics and my life and my activities may not be for everyone. Then that's okay. So you don't have to hit the notification. That way you don't have to watch the videos as they come out. But I appreciate a subscribe, maybe a like, you know, or even a comment. Hey, you're a nut job, or, you know, but I like, you know, but you're cool because, you know, you're a nut and you don't care what people think. Anything like that would be cool, you know. I mean, I am dying anyway. I'm dying of heart failure. So, you know, I kind of got to be crazy a little bit to laugh and not let it make me want to eat a bullet or step in front of a train or jump off a cliff or slice my wrists, or, you know, all that good stuff, you know. You gotta be a little bit crazy so that you can laugh at the bad things in life and not to, yeah. Actually, I find that to be true. The ones of those that can laugh, look at death in the face, and laugh, are probably really actually the most sane people out there, really. I mean, we got to be a little crazy, but I think we're sane. I think we are. We're saner than the rest of the world that wants to hide in a shell and hide from reality and all that happy stuff, you know, that they do. Get offended by beer cans and all kinds of other shit that does not affect anybody whatsoever. But hey, to each their own, I guess. If they want to be a snowflake, be a snowflake. Personally, I don't see why. There's no reason. Just let bygones be bygones. Let each person do their thing. If they ain't, you know, they're not hurting children, okay? If they're not a pedophile, raping children, sacrificing them to some gods, you know, like certain politicians do out in the Northwest in that redwood forest where they used to do where they have their secret little meeting at night and sacrifice a virgin to the god, to their satanic god or whatever. You know, if it ain't stuff like that and it's not affecting you directly, hurting you, then why worry about it, you know? So I'm not hurting anybody. I'm just making funny content, living my life, trying to live my life and experience the awesome dreams and desires of things that I want to experience before I die. Which some of the stuff I can do all by myself. I don't need anybody to experience a lot of the things I want to experience. There are a few things that I need other people for to experience certain things, and maybe someday that'll happen, but I doubt it. And if not, oh well, I guess I die. Sure, it ain't my first lifetime that I've died without getting what I want. I'm used to it. I just sense it. I can sense it in here. This third eye chakra meditation stuff in my sleep, it's really starting to open my mind, and I'm realizing that I've always been a worthless loser. Every life does not go the way I plan it to. I don't get what I want. And I really actually hope there ain't another, maybe sometimes I hope there ain't another lifetime. That's one of them e-bikes. That thing's pretty damn loud. Because I'm back off the road pretty far, and I heard that. So, yeah. Sometimes I hope there isn't another life after this one. I'm kind of hoping I'm done. I'm hoping that they don't reincarnate me and I don't go through... I don't want to go through the next part of this world. I want to enjoy what I want now and die a happy man and just stop coming back. No more lives after this one. I don't know how many I'm on total, but this can be the last one because you only keep coming back in the next, you know, you don't go backwards. So if I can't go backwards and live in a time where it was cooler, in my opinion, and better, if you know, it only moves forward. So since time only moves forward, I don't want to come back in the next life. Not unless it's not unless we've beaten the tyrannical a-holes and maybe we're living in space in a spaceship. Because sex in a spaceship would be really cool. Sex in space would definitely. Okay, I can come back one more time, but only if I get to be living in space, like Star Trek stuff, or, you know, something like that, where everybody's living in space in ships, and there's some new planets or man-made orbital things that just float around. If I can come back in that so I can have sex in space, I'm for it. Otherwise, I want no parts of space unless I can have sex and orgies in space. That's the only way I want to come back in another lifetime. So, universe, you hear that? That's the only way I want to come back. Sex and orgies in space. Gotcha? Gotcha. All right. Oh, I know. This is probably too much for some of you, and if it is, well, I would say I apologize, but, oh, wait a minute. It's my YouTube channel, and I'm not monetized yet, nor will I probably ever be till before I die. So, I would apologize, but it's my channel, and I rightly don't give a fuck. Oh, life is great when you just don't care anymore. It is so freeing to not worry about what other people think. It is so freeing, especially when you're out here in nature with these vines. I mean, these vines are growing on everything. Look at that. Look at that. You know, I bet, oh, dude. Oh, I bet you that's not stiff enough. I was going to say, if that would be stiff enough, that would make some cool-ass walking sticks. Oh, my God, that would. Too bad it didn't grow up an actual tree, like a small tree, and be like that size. Because those could make some really, 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 really cool walking sticks. Well, maybe. Well, that was all tangled up there. Man, I wish I would have found this spot back when I was doing walking sticks. This could have been so cool. Actually, I wish I would have known about this 20 years ago. I would have loved to have come back here and try to find this when it was not so overgrown. That would have been awesome. But I will explore this. This will be in a future video. So if you're not offended and crying and screaming at the sky, wearing your vagina hat, come on back. Keep an eye on my channel, because there will be a video exploring that old pool area. Like I said, I'm gonna find my machete and try to sharpen it up, and we're gonna do a little bushwhacking one of these days. I'll just leave the detector. I'll even leave the detector in the van for that one. Just bushwhack right through that. Try to see what's left, if anything. I'm pretty sure they filled it. It's only that thick because they filled in the entire pool. Because there's even stuff growing where the pool would be. It's just inside this fence would have been around the outside of the pool. And then there's stuff in the pool. So I'm going to say that they probably filled it in with some dirt so that it would grow. But that's going to be a future video. So keep your eyes open for that one. That one's coming. And until the next one, remember, fight for love, not hate. Keep swinging. And if you're so inclined, be a freak. Because weirdos and freaks unite. We're like, what was that? What was that cartoon? Thundercats. Is that Thundercats? Where they all come together and make one big robotic Thundercats. Well, freaks and weirdos. We unite, and boys are fun. Well, it would be if I could find other freaks and weirdos. Huh. So far, I'm not finding enough freaky people. Freaky people need not apply, but except here, freaky people can apply. To the bearded nomad van life. Boom! All right, so I will catch y'all later. I got to get out of here now. It's going to get dark quick. So, peace, and keep on swinging. Keep on making love. No babies, just making love. Yeah. Peace.